So we are recording. So smile and wave at your classmates. Hi, everyone. I'll probably cut off the first 10 minutes of the call because it was just everybody connecting, etc.
Yes.
Right, so we're going to be reading from Act 3 of Lighthouse Keeper's Wife. Sorry, this is obviously back to front for you. But Act 3 starts on page 24. It's something both classes 10A and 10B have read already, the first half of Act 3. But I think it's been a while, so I think we need to just recap and start from there. So just briefly in Act 1, who can remember what the setting was of Act 1?
It was Lighthouse by the boat.
That's right. Outside, not indoors. It was outside. Pikey's building his boat, talking to the seagulls, right? And then Stella comes along and starts speaking to him. And as we find out later on in the play, she should have known better than to start speaking to Pikey's, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they think he's crazy.
Okay, that's one reason. And what is another reason why she should have been more cautious in speaking to a strange man?
Her husband is jealous.
Very easily angered and jealous. Yes, you're right. Okay, so it's just her and Pikey's, and then Barney comes along. And who's Barney?
I don't know what to call him.
Yeah, he works.
Superintendent.
Yeah, that's right. He's a prison attendant or a prisoner / insane asylum. That's right. I think he's not the superintendent himself. He's just one of the attendants. Yeah. Okay. And then also Lamprecht makes an appearance in that scene as well. And starts. Wait, is that scene 1? Okay, and then Act 2 is indoors, inside the lighthouse, inside the dwelling, not the lighthouse itself. As we discovered, the lighthouse is just a little way away from their home, and it's Lamprecht and Stella having a conversation. And they have quite an intense conversation. She obviously is very unhappy. And she says certain provocative things and it makes him annoyed. Remember that whole thing about Lamprecht going off about how he's not desperate. Okay, that's on page 20. And he says the superintendent's desperate. That's a desperate man who's got a desperate job. I don't look like that. Just telling you, I am not desperate. So he makes his point rather well that he's not desperate. Okay, and then they finish their conversation. Well, he goes out. Then she hears a noise. What is she hearing when she goes out to check what the noise is outside?
I don't remember that.
Like she hears like banging and very loud clanking, and then she goes outside to check what's happening because she thinks it's Lamprecht who's like outside, but then it's actually Barney, I think.
Yeah. At the top of page 24, just before Act 3 starts, it describes how Barney is drinking. He's got a bottle of wine, and he then demolishes that boat that Pikey's was building. Okay. And there's also
I've been looking at Act 2.
Okay. Yeah, we skipped through Act 2 quite quickly. At the end of Act 2, then Barney destroys the boat. Okay, so here we are in Act 3. So let's, who wants to be Barney, Stella? It's Barney and Stella and Pikey's. Let's say, Daniel, you can be Barney, Amberly, you Stella, and Cheeto, you can be Pikey's.
Okay, ma'am.
And then Jordan and Ryan will switch over a little bit later. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll just set the scene and then Barney can start reading. It's early morning. Plykies wears the restraint jacket and stands looking desolate at the sight of his orange coat. Desolate means totally shattered, okay? Stella watches as Barney unties the jacket. So this is obviously a routine that they do pretty often. Okay, Barney.
Morning to you, Mrs. Lamprecht. Lovely day, isn't it? Fog's cleared up nicely. I heard your husband was up all night in the lighthouse.
Then you read.
Releases Plykie. Sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah, releases Plykie, who kneels and gathers the scattered planks around his boat. Barney turns to Stella. He must have had a busy night. I hear he's never lost a ship to the rocks yet. Must take some doing, running that lighthouse. Comes closer to her. Keeping her alight all night.
How many boats has he built?
I don't know. I stopped counting.
It's cruel. Does he know who destroys it?
Even if he did, he doesn't mind. What else would he be doing with his time out here? He'll fix it up. By next month, he's ready to escape again. Hey, old Plykies, what did the captain say?
It's sickening.
Ah, he's used to it. Don't you worry. Your husband invited me over on Sunday. Should I bring anything? I still have a little wine left. It's not too fancy, but it tastes all right. Does he drink wine? Stella does not respond and watches Plykies. You're looking pretty today, Mrs. Lamprecht circles around her. Not often we see such beauty on the island.
Leave us.
I was just going, breathes onto her neck. There was a commotion with the leper women yesterday. They say some woman came and spoke to her, asked her how they get treated. You must know they don't appreciate what we do for them. Turns to walk. I'll see you on Sunday, Mrs. Lamprecht. And don't worry about old Plykies. He'll fix that boat in no time. It's all a game to him. Leaves chuckling to himself.
Okay, stop there for a sec. Right, so what is Barney's actions towards Stella here? What kind of undertone is there? Ryan and Jordan, you can do all the answering of the questions.
Well, he tries to convince her that that they do treat the lepers nicely, but that they don't appreciate what they do for them.
Yeah. Now, on the surface, you get the feeling that the words that he says are very polite and courteous, Mrs. Lamprecht, and compliments, etc. There's this kind of mildly threatening undertone to it, where he's kind of, circling around her, breathing into her neck. All his body language is maybe not threatening, but flirtatious. He's kind of hinting that he would be quite happy to, pursue a relationship with her if she was interested. So, it comes off as a bit of a slimy character. Okay, so then he leaves, and then Plykie starts to speak. Now, we've got screen name trying again. I wonder if this is Poppy. Anyway, let's continue. Cheeto?
If today is not the day, then tomorrow be the day. Let there be no doubt in the minds of the foolish. They must know it was said, believe and hope shall be your strength. Yes, ye of little faith, do not despair tomorrow. Do not despair. Tomorrow is but a few pieces of wood between this place and freedom away. Gathers the rest of the planks into a heap. Flora, perseverant, my gondolier.
Who's Flora, Plykie?
Suka spits at her.
I want to help you.
Plykies needs no one's help.
I think you do. Your wife is dead, you know that?
Hi, Futek, go away, woman. Suga, I see many come here bright with hopes and dreams. Leave before it's too late. Walk, don't look back. Hamba.
Are you sure? Is that what you want me to do? They face each other. Was Flora your wife?
My wife smiles at Stella. You come to feed on your own sadness here, lady. Leave me alone. I'm busy. Sorry.
I'm a busy man.
I'm busy. I'm a busy man. I got a boat to build. Please go. Please to go. Places to go. My people are waiting.
It's them. They're the ones who destroy your boat every time.
Okay, just stop there for
Hi.
a sec. So when she said it's them, you're tempted to think, or the way it's juxtaposed there with what Plagueis has just said. It's like she's saying, he said, my people are waiting, and then Stella says it's them. So you think maybe she's talking about his people, but no, it's the people on the island that are destroying the boat. I just wanted to make one other comment here. He reacts very angrily to Stella talking to him. Is that just because he doesn't like her, or why do you think he's doing that?
He's trying to protect her.
Yes. And not only from her husband's jealousy, but also just the effect of hanging around on the island, getting to know the people. He's worried that she's also going to become viewed as insane. Whether she's actually insane or not is a question we have to decide once we finish the whole play. We have to decide whether she does become insane. But at least people don't remain normal on the island. They start acting strange. So he's trying to save her from that as well. Okay. So then Stella tells Plagueis, it's them. They're the ones who destroy your boat. Plagueis?
Hi. What do you want with me, lady?
I'm the lighthouse keeper's wife.
Lighthouse makes the sound of a foghorn. I see that one. He walks alone. He watches me. He waits.
He's my husband, Adrian.
Some they drown in the sea. Others they drown in love. Returns to his boat. Stella sits at the edge of the cove. There is a long silence as she watches Plagueis at work. He looks up at her several times to see if she's still there.
I once put a letter in a bottle and threw it in the ocean. It came back again, washed onto the rocks and broke. Your boat reminds me of that bottle, Plagueis approaches her. I'm not leaving.
Come, look over here. Points to the ocean. What you see, lady?
Water.
Further out.
More water.
Make your eyes small. Get that.
It's a shipwreck. I've not noticed it before.
That one. She is my Flora. She got herself lost in the fog one night, long time ago. She was carrying spices from the east. Smell this.
Smells like cinnamon.
Fetches another plank. This one, she's my perseverance. Saw her come the night before Christmas last year from a far place, where they saw a new world is born. She lost her tail in the wind, and the storm swallowed her. Now she's mine. I go where she cannot go anymore.
Your boat is built from all the wrecks.
Wrecks to you, freedom to me, but boat to you, hope to me.
Why don't you go back to the mainland, Plagueis? Why do you want to go to the mainland, Plagueis?
I must take the message from the spirits of the great ones.
Spirits? What spirits?
Everywhere. Gedla. Look and you see. Fingers the air. Makana. Ma'am, can I skip these words? I don't know how to pronounce them.
Sorry, I was just muted for a bit because Matthew's busy taking out the rubbish that's making a huge noise. So do your best.
Can I skip these 3 words because I really don't know how to pronounce them.
Go.
Yeah, you can.
Can I?
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
can.
Spirits of the great chiefs who want to go back to their wives and their children. Plakies must take the message to the people. They must not lose hope. The great Mulimo has spoken. The spirits will return. The Lord's people will be set free. Haita freedom. Dances in a circle. Haita freedom. Haita freedom.
Where are these spirits?
Points at the seagulls overhead. Ingaba Ngaba.
Ngaba?
We sing the same song of freedom, cries like a seagull.
The seagulls are the spirits.
Singing in the wind,
What do they say?
fetches a shell
Hey,
from the
Cheeto,
blue.
before you go on with Plakies is quite a verbose guy. Do you guys remember that word?
Yes.
He likes to speak a lot. So before you go on with what Plakies is saying, let's just say good morning to Nuran. Hi, Nuran.
Oh, is that who
Morning.
was trying to join? I was going to tell you, ma'am, that someone was trying to join. I don't know who it is.
Thanks. Yeah, fortunately I put on the little notification. People trying to join. Otherwise, I would probably ignore them completely. But
Screen
welcome,
name,
Nuran.
I don't know who. Screen name messaged me privately and said, I can't hear you. I don't know who screen name is.
Yeah, I don't know who screen name is. Yeah, just tell them we are going to do this again and we're just going to have to iron out some of the problems this time around. But I think most people, it's a case of needing to just figure out all the settings on their side, the audio setting.
I can't send a message to them. They left the call, so I can't send a message to them anymore.
Thanks.
So which one is Neuron now?
She's connecting to audio. Sorry, can you hear me? All the background noise going on.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So I think Ron's kind of slipping in and out of presence. Okay. But yeah, when she joins us, we'll switch over and then we'll, actually she did message me and say she just wants to listen in. I don't know if she actually wants to read. So actually this is a good time to switch. Let's say Ryan, can you be Plakies?
Okay.
And Jordan, you can be Stella.
Ma'am,
Okay.
Yes, Tito?
why did Barney destroy Plaki's boat?
Yeah, well, he obviously has a cruel streak, as Stella noticed. You know, she said it's just cruel. He doesn't respect Plakies as a person at all. To him, Plakies is just a toy, is a plaything, something to mess around with, you know. He doesn't respect him as a person with his own needs and desires and hopes and dreams. And I think that's based on the fact that he's now been labeled as insane. So an insane person is not valuable to him. Is, you know, you can do what you want with them and there's no consequences. Remember, this was at the turn of the century, turn of the last century. We're 20 years past the turn of this century. So usually when people talk about the turn of the century, they're still talking about the early 1900s. But so this was before people's rights were very clearly universally known and applied. So, and Barney's just one of those characters who doesn't seem to care very much. And there's probably a racial element as well. Barney's white and Plakies is black. And you know, that probably makes it even worse, where he's not seen as a real human being. So who did we just lose?
Neuron.
Yeah.
Yeah, she left.
Was Neuron that like a really long name?
Yeah, the
Yes.
letters and numbers.
Yeah, I think that was Nuran that dropped out.
Yeah, that one just.
Okay. Oh,
Oh, man.
Zoom has just
This
told
meeting
me.
has been upgraded.
Pardon?
It said you upgraded the call. So now we
Yeah.
have unlimited.
It's just a little screen has just popped up to say that they've removed the 40-minute time limit on our group meeting. Great.
Okay.
So I think that's something they're probably doing now during this time of lockdown, knowing that how many people are using Zoom.
Yeah, when I downloaded it, they said that they're planning on removing the 40-minute limit.
Awesome. Yeah, so we can just go on all day then. Okay. Now we'll finish Act 3 and then probably do Act 4 as well. I'll
Okay.
add it. Okay. Who's good at
Ryan-
editing videos? I'm just thinking we need to cut out all the chit chat in between, the connecting and the
Nicholas.
etc. Nicholas.
Nicholas.
Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do have an IT person in my household, 2 IT people actually. Jen is studying computer science and Glenn is an IT specialist, so maybe they can help me with that, but they're also quite busy. So, okay, so Ryan, you are going to be Plaikis now.
Yes, ma'am.
Daniel, are you taking a photo of us?
No, for Cheetah, the book.
Oh. And actually, it would be nice if someone takes a photo. Maybe I'll try just now. Okay. So it was Ryan Plaikis, it was Jordan as Stella, and then Lamprecht comes in later. Then Daniel, you can be Lamprecht. Okay.
Okay.
Go for it. So we're on page 27, the last paragraph there, Plaikis.
Fetches a shell from the boat and holds it to his ear. Then he dances in a circle again. In the distance, there is the sound of the soft beating of African drums under the breaking of waves. No more. No more voices of despair. Lost sound. 7 seals, 7 angels, 7 trumpets. 4 riders will come. White horse and his rider take the land from the people. Red horse steals the peace from the people. Black horse kills the cattle of the people. Pale horse stops the breaking of the waves. Persecution. Sun burns black. Moon rises in the blood of the people. 7 seals, 7 angels, 7 trumpets. Takes a worn Bible from his pocket, tears a page from it and chews it. Offers her a page. Eat, lady, eat. Eat and walk with the spirits of the great ones. Eat the message of Molimo, and let the words of the great chiefs become flesh.
But they're all dead. They can't possibly return.
They will. That is the message I must take to my people. Gives her the shell and returns to work on the boat.
Choose the torn page from the Bible.
So that's when you have to chew a piece of paper, Jordan.
No.
No, I'm just joking.
I've done that before.
This is not just a reading, this is a performance.
Paper to you, food to me.
Holds the shell to her ear. I can hear the ocean. Can I keep this?
It will protect you from the bad tides.
Oh,
Jordan. Oh my word.
unwraps the fat cook and holds them up. He takes the fat cook and hides them in his pocket. You should hide the boat. They'll destroy it again.
They can't kill my hope.
I wish you were right. Sits on a rock near his boat. I don't think you're really mad.
Madness, she's like the sea. She drowns you if you let her.
You can call me Stella if you want.
Stella.
Tell me about the mainland. Tell me again about the mainland.
Haita, she's a beauty, that one. She sleeps with one eye open. Her mouth is filled with stars. Her face is bright like the early morning spring. Her breath smells like sweet potatoes, and when she smiles, the sun goes down over her head. Lamprecht appears. He stops and watches them.
Okay, pause there for a moment.
More.
Let's just say hi to Aiden. Aiden, can you hear us?
Wow.
And also I wanted to just point out a very important line here in this poem. A couple lines back. Which one do you think I'm talking about? It's something Plaatjie says.
Madness. She's like the sea. I don't know.
Good. She drowns you if you let her. Okay? So it relates to the theme of this poem. This drama. Sorry, Simon is also wanting to join us. So the theme of the drama, of the play, is madness and how it is perceived, if it's real madness.
Yeah.
Hi. If you are joining us, just keep yourself muted unless you want to say something. Okay. So then, yeah, and Stella's obviously enjoying the way Plaatjie uses words. He's very poetic. She enjoys that. As we already discovered before, she's the leader in the family. Between her and Lamprecht, she's the one who reads. In fact, we discovered that Lamprecht can't read. Adriaan, her husband. So she writes letters, she reads, and then she tells. Remember, there was that whole, I think it was, one of the classic works of literature that has the character Prospero, who's also a lighthouse keeper, and she would tell him those stories. So anyway, Plaatjie seems to have certain insight and wisdom that he shares with Stella. Okay, so Lamprecht appears, but he's watching. He's still watching at this moment. Okay, Daniel, you're watching.
Yeah.
Okay, Stella.
More.
Slowly dances around her. Can I skip that now?
Ukuta kwendleba.
Her voice is food to my ears. My head lies in her breast like a bird in its nest. She washes my hands and my feet with her tide. Her belly is full of seasons, year after year. At night, all the men come out and dance with her. The children play in her streets. Take Stella's hand and they dance. They sing her praises. They dance to her rhythms. When she laughs, her breasts swell with pleasure. When she cries, the trees lose their leaves in her honor, suddenly struck by a piece of kelp. Okay.
Yeah, and then Lamprecht comes in with his fine language.
You crazy bastard, get away from her, charges Plaatjie.
And Stella is standing smiling.
Always smiling. Stop it. Plaatjie hides behind the boat.
I told you not to come.
Oh.
Drags her by the arm, but she resists.
We were just dancing.
Dancing? Just dancing with this lunatic, chases Plaatjie from behind the boat. You danced with my wife, you bastard.
Stop it, Adriaan. He's innocent.
Come on, let's go.
No. You go. Go to your damn lighthouse.
What's this, Stella? What the hell is going on with you? The man's a bloody lunatic. Look at him. I told you, I don't want trouble again.
You're the trouble, Adriaan. You're the damn trouble. Pushes Lamprecht aside and leaves.
Turns and faces Plaatjie, who now stands ready with a hammer in his hand. Charges Plaatjie again, who in turn swiftly moves sideways, causing Lamprecht to charge into the hull of the boat. Plaatjie grabs him from behind in a similar wrestling grip to Barney's and forces Lamprecht to the ground. He releases Lamprecht and moves away. Lamprecht gasps for air. So you're not so crazy after all, are you?
Izulu Ilibi Hamba Futek, go.
Okay, stop there.
You go.
Okay. Two things. who in turn swiftly moves us sideways, okay? In turn means, it's a phrase that means he responds, he reacts in that way, okay? The one person does one action and then the other person does another action in turn. All right. Okay. What else? Charge into the hull of the boat. The hull of the boat, I think, is the side, you know, the rounded part on the side. Right.
No, it's the front.
Is it the front? I think the front
I
is
think it's
the bow. I haven't been on a boat lately, so I don't know. I think the hull is the round part. Okay. Right, so then we turn to page 30. So Lamprecht continues with his tirade.
You're going to regret this, you bastard. You stay away from my wife. You hear me? I catch you near her again and I'll kill you. Follow Stella. Lycus takes a fake from his pocket and throws pieces from it to the seagulls that gather it with a great noise. He swirls around, laughing and dancing at the seagulls scream, louder and louder, with the same beating of African drums underneath. A slow musical waltz builds in the background. The stage darkens.
Okay, well done. So the 10A class had already started Act 4, but not the 10B class. And we got up to probably 2 pages into Act 4. Okay, so now let's have Chido as Stella, and let's have Amberly as Lamprecht, and
Ma'am,
Jordan as Barney.
ma'am,
Ryan, you can take each direction.
Sorry,
I'm
ma'am.
gonna ask now.
Yeah.
You see in thingy, in like this third scene, right? What's it called? Plikes gives Stella pieces of paper to eat. Why does she approve to eat the paper?
She's very open to anything Plakis tells her because she's very fascinated and interested with Plakis. She recognizes something in him that seems to be wise and different, and you know, takes her out of her usual humdrum life. So she's interested in what he has to say. So when he talks about how he connects with the spirits and he can hear things and he can see things, she's kind of willing to go along and see, well, maybe she can also see these things or experience these things. So she's willing to try it, you know. I don't think it works, but you know, she's got time to kill, she's got nothing else to do, so she's willing to do it. What's that idiom that says something like idle hands? I'm getting mixed up between the one says many hands make light work is the one idiom, and idle. Anyway, something about idleness is the time that you get into a lot of trouble, or you do a lot of things that you wouldn't normally do. So it's kind of like that, where she's just a little bit too open to trying different things. He uses a lot of biblical language in the way he speaks. Yeah, sorry, just give me a second.
Is Stella in like what you call this word? Interested in Plikes or not? Or is he just like
She's
She's
interested
like-
in him, but not like.
Yeah, not like that.
Yeah.
is she just
Sorry, I'm just asking Matthew if he maybe knows what idiom I'm looking for about idleness. Did you hear what it was saying? What is that saying? Okay, I'll ask him to Google it for me. Yeah, so interested That's right. Something about the idle hands do the devil's work. So it's not exactly applicable to the situation with Stella, but it's a similar idea that, you know, you might do things that you wouldn't normally do if you're being kept busy. But when you've got time on your hands and you really have kind of, right. The exact phrase is, the devil finds work for idle hands. Okay, thanks, Matt. Okay, so you said, is Stella interested in Plaikis? So you're using interested in a very specific way. I don't think she's romantically interested in Plaikis, but I think she's just really interested in him as a character, as a person, as somebody that seems to have found a way to overcome the hardships of living on the island. At least in his mind and his approach. He hasn't been able to overcome the fact that he gets put in a restraint jacket every day, every evening. He hasn't been able to overcome that he's a prisoner on the island and he can't get off the island. But he has been able to overcome it in that his spirit is still strong. He's got an attitude that it is failing at times. You can see the despair coming out, especially the longer it happens over and over. They destroy his boat and they treat him badly. Oh yes, that was the other thing I wanted to mention. It's about that wrestling grip that Plaikis puts Lamprecht in. Where is it now? That's right.
I think
the end of page 29, where it says Plaikis grabs him. This is talking about Lamprecht. Grabs him from behind in a similar wrestling grip to Barney's and forces Lamprecht to the ground. Where do you think Plaikis learned how to do that?
Barney.
Okay. Barney is probably practicing all his wrestling moves on Plaikis, and now Plaikis has the opportunity to use it on Lamprecht. Okay.